Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about Point Doom from 1999. This movie stars Richard Grieco, Jennifer Odell, Andrew Dice Clay, John Enos III, Ice-T, Angie Everhart, and Sebastian Bach. It was directed by Art Camacho. Art Camacho is mainly known for fight choreography work and stunt coordinator work on 90s martial arts movies. He also appeared in a lot of those movies. So if you're a fan of that genre, he was involved in a lot of those films. Um, Here he is the director, obviously. So I don't know if this was his debut or not, but he did a very good job with it, I felt. So here, this plot, Richard Grieco plays Rick Hansen. He's a little bit more mature, single guy. He's a talent agent in California, very successful. He has a great career, and but he's looking for that final piece, a great relationship, and he just hasn't found that woman. And he doesn't find much sympathy from his best friend Frankie, played by Andrew Dice Clay. He owns a strip club, so he doesn't have a real sympathetic ear to him. He's like, look at this woman here. This is a new girl I got. But he's there hanging out with Frankie, and a cocktail waitress comes up and offers him, get him a drink. And he is immediately captivated by her. But she's just a waitress there, not a stripper. And her name's Stephanie. She's played by Jennifer Odell, and she is quite captivating. So any guy would be like, wow, she is quite attractive. And so he asks Frankie about her, like, who is Stephanie, that waitress? There is something about her, she has that it factor. And Frankie's like, forget her. She's got a boyfriend. Do not get mixed up with her. She is bad news. It is nothing but trouble waiting for you if you do this. And her boyfriend is a bad dude. His name's Blackie. He's part of a biker gang called the Satan Slaves. And he's looking to move some drugs. And he's also betraying his biker brothers to do it. He even kills a lot of them. And he has some of his friends tell another drug dealer, played by Ice-T, he sets him up, sets his biker brothers up against Ice-T, just to divert attention away from him because he's really the traitor. Blackie has no code. He abuses Stephanie. He betrays his biker brothers. He just does whatever he wants to do, and he has no code. Some of the other characters are really good people, but they have some kind of code they live by, or things they will do or won't do, or they're out front about what they are. Blackie, nothing. This guy, there is no low he won't go to. There's nothing he won't do to get what he wants. And when Stephanie even looks at another guy, he flips. And when Rick approaches Stephanie again, he's like, look, there's something about you. Why don't you come in and read for me? And he gives her his card, and, it says Rick Hansen, talent agent. And she's like, this is a line, whatever. She doesn't take him seriously, but keeps the card. And Blackie comes back one night, full of booze and starting to, do some drugs too. And she has a sister that lives with her, played by Angie Everhart, and she has epilepsy, so she has to take care of her sister. But Blackie, like I said, there's no low he won't go to. When he gets mad at Stephanie and starts grabbing her because he sees Rick Hansen's card, and, he starts strangling her, Jessica comes out and tells him to stop. He attacks her too, and she has an epileptic seizure. He doesn't care. He just leaves. But he also, before this, he left Stephanie with a bag with some drugs and money, and because he betrayed so many people, he asked her to hold on to it for him. Yeah, I know, what a stand-up guy, huh? Put an innocent girl at risk, but he didn't care. He would do anything. So he gives it to her, and she's like, what's in it? He's like, you're better off knowing, but this is for us. We're going to get ahead with this. This is my big score. So they go along, and after he snaps against Stephanie, decides, I'm leaving him once and for all, and she reaches out to Rick, because Rick is a nice guy. And I think Richard Grieco portrays that well here, because he's in over his head. He's mixed up with some bad people, and he doesn't know how to handle this. He's a nice guy. And I think that's what I like about this movie, is a nice guy finishes first, but in the end. But, he has to use his wits, even though he's in over his head, and he wants to help Stephanie because he sees something in her. But, he has to go through a lot of hoops, obviously, here. So there's a lot of different dynamics here and characters and backstabbing, and the characters are developed quite well, and the acting's pretty good for this movie. The action sequences, when they are there, they mean a lot, so they're pretty good. There is one glaring continuity error, though, that I will bring up. That there's a time when Slim, Sebastian Bach's character, he appears briefly in the movie a few times, but very pivotal scenes. And he pulls up to an apartment to talk to Blackie in a old Trans Am. And then when they have a chase and Blackie's on his bike, the Trans Am's now a black Camaro. It's still a black colored car, but it went from a decent looking Trans Am to a bad Camaro. I don't know what went wrong there, if the car broke down, they had to swap it out real quick. I don't know. That's the only really complaint I have about the movie, because it's a smaller budget, so you can't, maybe they had to work around and think quickly. I don't know. But that was the only real glaring issue I really had with it. But the characters are developed well, and they keep you engaged in this story and all that. And I think Rick Hansen, this is one where, he's doing the best he can, for love. But, he's such a nice guy that he really has to turn to his friend Frankie to help him, and he's really trying to help Stephanie. And he does step up to take those risks, but it's still, you can tell he's uncomfortable with that. And Richard Grieco portrays that well. He's just trying to reason with Blackie, and obviously, as I've told you about Blackie, you can't reason with somebody like that at all. So this movie, though, some great characters. Everyone I've showed it to has really enjoyed it. And I think, if you're looking for a movie with a lot of different characters and different dynamics and factions, and it comes together, and how Rick Hansen just, wants to meet the girl of his dreams, what he has to do to, make that happen. This movie's pretty damn good, and I enjoy it a lot, and it's grown on me over the years. You can rent it on Amazon if you want to check it out, but I recommend it. It's a pretty fun movie. I really like the late 90s California setting. It really works for this, different. There's the glamorous, and then there's the seedy parts. All this is blended together quite well. So this is a great smaller feature that I think deserves some more attention. So let me know in the comments, have you seen it? What did you think of it? And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.